Got your hold with me. I pull it slow with me. Saint Laurent on board my feet. All this jewelry, they gon' notice me.
Won by the Minnesota Timberwolves. T to Towns. Old school. Backs his man down for the basket.
That's the kind of defense they're going to play on him all night. Even though he made that shot, he knows there's nothing easy about this game.
It's the Clippers with the possession now. Beverly to Tobias Harris. Three seconds. T to Gibson. Gets it in the left corner. T buries it on the catch and shoot.
And in today's game, you have to make shots like that. Nice work draining it from deep.
Beverly into the front court. Down 5. Beverly to Bradley. Here comes the screen. Driving right to the basket. Runner here. Won't go down. To T. To Wiggins. The drive. Right to the basket. Won't go down. Defender's lucky he wasn't called. Beverly into the front court. 5-point game. Here comes the screen. Oh, Jay, he commands the paint this time down.
You know, Jimmy Buckets really has an inspiring story. From being homeless at the age of 13 before moving in with a friend, reads like a basketball version of The Blind Side. That grit has become the fabric of his DNA. From Tyler Junior College to Marquette to the 30th pick in the first round. Are you kidding me? To where he is now, Jimmy Buckets has had to earn every inch that this game has given him.
It's LA Clippers ball. Screen coming. Beverly to Gortat. Bradley buries the wide open 3. That's too easy.
It's all about creating space with the dribble. Once you have that gap, you can beat somebody in a variety of ways. He chose a dagger with the 3.
Here comes the screen. Beverly to Gortat. From the painted area, won't go down.
Yo, big kudos to the defender. It seems like his mere presence in the paint was enough to make the offensive player miss the shot before he even got off the ground.
Butler to bring it up. Down a point. Butler. Bad pass there. Clippers have it. Butler into the front court. They trail by 1. And Jimmy Butler, it's good. We talk so much about who are the MVP candidates, but there are other guys who are so valuable to their teams, and Jimmy Butler at the forefront of that list.
I have a phrase that I use when I describe players like Jimmy Butler. It's called most valuable mentality. There are certain players that approach the game with a certain mindset every single day that they will do anything possible to win the ball game. He plays with his heart and soul every single possession and every night, and he will leave it on the court if that means he can win the ball game.
Butler to bring it up. Down just a couple. To Wiggins. Butler. Baseline drive. Rose on the drive, but it won't go down. Beverly into the front court. Counting down towards 1 minute to play here in the opening quarter. To Tobias Harris. Beverly. Dribbling inside. Bradley gets it in the right corner. That's usually one that he'll knock down.
And a lot of times in this league, teams take days off. But if this defense keeps maintaining that style of pace defensively, this is going to be a dogfight.
Minnesota at the controls. To Rose. Tough make through traffic.
Tie ball game so far. Neither one of these teams really able to pull ahead. Might be time to put the bench players in the game, and let's see who could differentiate themselves.
Here comes the screen. Oh, highlight moves. Tough to pull off with the defender all over you. Just inside the arc. At the buzzer. That's it for the first quarter. And this one's all tied up. A good start to this one. All tied up as we start the second. LA Clippers with the basketball. Beverly to Bradley. Here comes the screen. And he's fouled. Nice move that time, and he's going to the line for two.
I don't know about that one, Ed. I always thought your hand was part of the ball.
First one, count it. And he makes them both. Shot from the lane won't go. Bradley. That'll get out of bounds off one of the T-Wolves. Beverly to Gortat. Inside, he scores.
Strong finish. That's what you need, regardless of contact, focusing on the rim.
T-Wolves with the basketball. Butler to Teague. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Can't connect. Basket's good on the follow. Way to stay with it.
Look, there was barely any contact on that last play. I agree with the ref's no call. Let him play.
Beverly into the front court. Leads a bucket. Beverly to Gortat. Ref has the call. 5 seconds. His back was to the basket. Ball's going the other way. New blood coming in for both sides. Teague with the basketball. They trail by 2. Teague to Rose. Oh, great pass. Setting up the basket.
As my mother would say to the defender, A for effort, F for results.
Beverly, deep left corner. Gortat rocking the rim.
Well, they have such great flow to their offense this evening. The ball isn't sticking to one player individually. It's moving around the perimeter, and it's zipping. They're playing with a special cohesiveness.
Rose. Scores from the post.
As a great player, I would love it if somebody guarded me that way. I get guarded that way every day in practice. You know what we call those? Dummy workouts.
Beverly to Gortat. Oh, That's rejected by Towns.
That kid can block out the sun, Ed.
Screen coming. Beverly to Gortat. Trying to cash in, cashes in. Someone has to get into a zip code.
There is no better feeling than after making that shot and trotting back on defense, seeing your opponent stare, point, or yell at each other for miscommunication.
Rose to Towns. Goes to the right side. Stuffs it down with authority.
I mean, with so much talk these days about three-point shooting and the spacing on the court and having versatile athletic wings, sometimes when you have a dominant big man, you keep giving him the ball. You let him be that anomaly.
Bradley. Here comes the screen. Nothing going here on that drive. To Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris above the rim.
And when you get your prescription, you take your medicine and you call it a day.
It's Minnesota basketball. T to Rose. Clippers have got it.
Come on, let's dig in. Let's really build this lead.
Bradley. Second effort. On the follow. Way to stay with it.
It's crazy to think that Tobias Harris is on his fourth team. Milwaukee, Orlando, Detroit, and now the Clippers. But he is one of the most serviceable players in the league. He can get his at any time.
Time to shuffle things up. Butler. Down low for Gibson. Able to convert inside.
Okay, that's all right. You take your lumps and you move on. You did exactly what the game plan was defensively to guard a player like that.
Beverly. Going to launch beyond the arc. And the rebound taken by Wiggins. Rose to Towns. Tough-looking shot there. Still gets it to go down.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays. No one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
Beverly to Bradley. Down low for Harris. Count it.
In the paint, you need to finish. Just like that.
Gets off a three. At the buzzer. That's it for the first half. The Clippers are out in front.
Thanks, guys. And with that, I'm sending it back to Ed and Jay to bring you the rest of the game.
Clippers have the basketball. Beverly to Gortat. With a drop step. That's no good.
You can't fall in love with the jump shots. You have to find ways to maybe even get to the free throw line. Keep your team in the game by putting points on the board.
It's good. And one.
And so many players, when they come into the paint, they come in with that soft approach. He didn't come in soft at all. He came in with aggression, and he went through the defender. Through, not around. That's key.
Oh, he can't connect. Bradley, pass to the rim, throws it down off the alley-oop pass. Jay, they make it look so easy.
Yeah, but it's really not that easy. And as a passer, if your pass is just a fraction too early or a fraction too late, that throws the whole play off. The timing of this has to be impeccable.
Missed it. They weren't going to give that to him. Bradley to Beverly. Harris. Driving right to the basket. Right through the heart of the defense. The layup is good.
Contact on a drive can be a beautiful thing. Making those tough shots can really help you build a mental advantage over your defender.
To Taj Gibson. Wiggins to Towns. The pass set it all up.
You know, Ed, I'm down with guys having 35, 40, maybe 50 points in the game. But the one thing you look for in a defensive end, when there's a huddle after a guy has dropped multiple buckets on you in a row, and everybody's quiet, nobody stands up and says, yo, I got him, I'm going to stop him, you're in a worrisome place for your team.
Beverly to Gortat. Layup's good. Those are the types of shots you always strive for.
Bodies bouncing all around on that layup with the offense winning that battle. But if the defense keeps up that kind of pressure, good things are bound to happen.
Deep two there, won't go.
Misses happen. Don't put your head down. Let that motivate you on the defensive end. Use it for something positive.
To Gortat. The jumper's off the mark. Minnesota with the basketball. T to Towns. Towns a shot, but he missed it. Beverly into the front court. Leads 4. Beverly to Gortat. And it's blocked by Gibson.
Just incredible timing on that swat.
Butler to Towns. Fires the 3. Rebound taken by Gortat. Beverly into the front court. They lead it. 4-point game. Beverly. He's too good to leave that wide open. Defense has to communicate.
Look, as a player, this stuff happens all the time. No need to make this into something bigger than what it really is. Move on to the next play. Get locked in.
Some lineup changes now for both clubs.
Los Angeles, number 23, Louis Williams. Into the game for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Old school. Backs his man down for the basket.
You see, the great playmakers see the shot before it ever happens. They recognize how they were being guarded on the previous set, and then they make the necessary adjustments.
To Williams. Bradley to Beverly. Using the post to his advantage there, and the finish at the rim.
We call that get your money and put it in the bank.
T to Rose. The pass taken away by the Clippers.
You know, Ed, sometimes you're just more ready to play than your opponent. The intensity and the effort, it's off the charts.
Timberwolves have the basketball. T to Towns. And strokes it.
Ooh, shows like this separate the good players from the great ones. The good players, they have good first halves, and then they fade to black in the second. The great players, they just sustain that kind of dynamic energy throughout the entire ball game.
Williams to Bradley. Throws it up. Bradley. Smothering D. Teague with it up top. The deficit is 6. Has a chance. Add 2 points to the board.
And if you don't contest, he's knocking that down with ease.
Beverly into the front court. Shot clock turned off as they try to extend the lead. With a drop step. From the painted area, won't go down. That ends the third quarter. The Clippers have the lead. It's been a compelling game so far. The fourth quarter is underway. Butler into the front court. His guys trail now by 4. Rose to Wiggins. Butler to Rose. Clippers have it.
Don't rush this now. The game's been tight so far.
Beverly to Bradley. Missed it. Almost a foul. They let it go. Rose to Butler. And the basket good at the rim.
I love the drive to the basket there. Instead of trying to go around or over, go through.
It's the Clippers with the possession now. Beverly. To Bradley. Beverly. To Bradley. From long range. Can't go down. Smothering defense. Rose into the front court. His guys find themselves trailing by a bucket. Here comes the screen. Too much contact. And free throws coming.
The game is too tight for you to be taking risks like that. You want to avoid foul trouble at all costs.
Oops, he missed the first one. Knocks down the second after missing the first. It's LA Clippers ball. Beverly to Bradley. Gets it in the right corner. Beverly. Not that time. Nice touch around the basket with the tip.
That's what I'm talking about, Ed. It's that simple. Put the ball in the bucket.
Teague with the basketball. His guys down 3. Towns. It's blocked. Marcin Gortat.
You know, sometimes basketball can become a very beautiful thing to watch. During the regular season, things can get difficult. Energy can be low. The passion at times can even be lower because players are tired. They're fatigued. But today, it's all been good. They're putting in an absolute show with killer efficiency and tremendous effort and intensity.
To Beverly. Blocked by Butler. That'll get out of bounds off one of the T-Wolves. Bradley, not a good pass there. T-Wolves have it. He throws it down. Jay, I'm surprised he had a chance to wrap him up.
Well, you're not the only one surprised. This guy is not a good free throw shooter. You never let him have an easy bucket. If anything, make him earn it at the charity stripe.
LA Clippers with the basketball. Beverly. Deep right corner. Probing the defense. Gortat rocking the rim. Gotta love the rim rockers.
Gotta be careful, though. Don't hang on the rim too long. You might get a tee.
Teague with it up top. His guys now trailing by a point. And that'll get out of bounds. Last touch by the Clippers. It'll stay with the T-Wolves. Substitution being made in this one.
Number 30, Mike Scott.
Wiggins. To Teague. Lets it fly from long range, and the rebound taken down by the Clippers. Screen coming. Bradley to Gortat. LA with 4 to shoot. Shot from the lane won't go. Butler to bring it up. He'll run the offense. Butler for 2. Butler with a shot, no good. Beverly into the front court. Leads 1. Screen coming. Beverly knocked loose. Wolves have it. Oh, a whistle.
That's just a blatant foul. Maybe he's trying to make a statement.
We have both squads set to make some moves right now.
Personal foul. Team foul number 2. First foul in the last 2 minutes. Subbing in for the Los Angeles Clippers.
Butler to Gibson. And a whistle.
Just a tic-tac foul.
Defensive foul to number 11. Avery Bradley.
Knocks down the first. Goes 2 for 2. Clippers have the basketball.
Oh, yeah, it's me and you. It's me and you.
Here comes the screen. Beverly to Gortat. Beyond the arc for 3. Buries it on the catch and shoot.
And I just hear my high school coach preaching this thing to me every single day, and it's still pertinent for the NBA. It's all about spacing. And when you have guys who are lethal three-point shooters and they understand spacing, oh, that whole floor opens up, and that's a thing of beauty to watch.
Now, he was smothered and still gets it to go down.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays, no one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
Beverly into the front court. Game's all tied in the final minute here in the third. To Bradley. The Clippers with 4 to shoot. For the win. It's good at the buzzer. Who needs overtime? This baby is all said and done on the final shot of the game. It's the Clippers who come away with the victory. They continue their unbeaten run, red hot to start the season. For Jay Williams and all our crew, I'm Ed Cohen saying so long for now. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports.
It's time for the EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Clippers did what great teams do best: finish. I could get into detail about their play calling and shot selection, but let's be honest. We all know that the dunks were the most exciting. I'd be surprised if the rim isn't a little bit bent at this point. The Timberwolves must be devastated after such a close loss. The way they shot the ball was outstanding, but even still, it wasn't enough to get the result they wanted. More often than not, you're gonna win games when you shoot the ball as well as they did here today.
Game trap. 3-point shooting.
Each of these teams were solid with their long-range shooting. So by extension, they were pretty poor with their perimeter defense. Closing out on shooters must always happen, whether you're tired or not.
Player of the game.
Marcin Gortat could not have been more impressive in this game. The way he scored the basketball looked like he was playing with kids in high school. Here are the top plays.
Number 2. Number 1.
On behalf of ESPN on EA Sports, I'm Jalen Rose, and it's been our pleasure to present you with some NBA basketball.